Ohio gozaimasu! I'm Crazed.
I'm Witchley.
And I'm Donut.
And welcome to Weeb
Simpin.
Special episode. It's not a normal episode, but we are here to talk about the Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze arc. So we actually just got back home not too long ago, so this is very fresh for us.
So fresh.
And
fresh.
I also have to float that Miki is not here. She has not seen the movie yet, but maybe in the future she will see that. Maybe she can talk about it on a future podcast. But right now we got Donut, who watched. You watched Demon Slayer with us, last time. So
yeah.
We had to get you back for Chainsaw Man because you love Chainsaw Man.
I do love Chainsaw Man.
And I think that'd be a good way to segue into what do you love about Chainsaw Man so much? Because it's such a unique show and series.
It is unique. That's a good question. I really like the style of it, for one thing. I like how it's not afraid to shy away from some messed up stuff. I mean, it starts off with him just being a kid who inherited his dad's debt, who killed himself to escape it, and he's literally selling organs and body parts to try and pay off the debt more. And
yeah, he even gets rid of an eyeball,
a
testicle,
an eyeball, a testicle, I think.
A liver? No, a kidney.
One of his kidneys.
Yeah.
You
can't get rid
he
of
would
the
not
liver.
be alive if he sold the liver.
And so you guys are, so specifically Donut and Witchley are going into this kind of just more blind because you guys just watched the anime. And only the anime.
I haven't read anything yet.
And I've read up to where they are at currently. It is still ongoing. There is much to cover in the series. So this has potential to do even more in the anime space. I'm me going in to the movie, I was like, I already knew what to expect. It's great. I love it. I love more Chainsaw Man. But let's throw it over at Witchley. Why do you like Chainsaw Man so much?
I like it because there's not you root for these characters even though they're really not worth rooting for. I just like how it just feels so human.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's strictly good, nobody's strictly evil. But, his whole reason for doing that shit is, for sexual favors.
Everything he wants is the simplest it could be. He wants affection because he's been starved for it his entire existence.
He also
and
wants
out of nowhere, he's been meeting people, getting along with them, and then finding, ladies that show interest in him. Even though it's clear they're manipulating him. But he can't tell because he's just enjoying an experience that he's never gotten to enjoy before.
Yeah. I think, that's how he survived on the streets.
He didn't have a good upbringing. So
he pretty much raised himself.
His moral compass is skewed in the first place.
He was doing work for the Mafia or the Yakuza.
Yeah.
And that for most of his life. So yeah, of course he's not going.
And then
he was
shows
killed,
up.
chopped up, and fused with his pet devil chainsaw. And,
Pochita.
You're fucked up.
And so, if anyone wonders why this kid's moral compass is so fucked up, then they obviously haven't been watching the show.
And there is way more things that you've not seen yet. Without spoiling, of course, I'm not going to say anything, but there's a lot of trauma with Denji that you've yet to even scratch.
I fully expect there to be even more shit he goes through.
Mm-hmm. So, with that, I want to say who's our favorite simp for, which is favorite character, who of the series as a whole, but I think that might have changed with the movie. So maybe I'll save that question for the end.
Those are good.
So,
yes, I need to ruminate on that since... First off, I forgot we were doing a podcast after the movie. So I haven't been thinking about any of this.
Me either.
So having time to think about what character I would consider the one I simp for.
I mean, and we can just... Obviously, we're strictly sticking to the anime. Obviously, I could dive in and on who my favorite characters are, but some of them are way past the anime, of course, in the manga form. So
the problem is I probably already have like 5 characters to suit for in the show.
Well, let's circle back to that, but let's talk about the movie. Obviously, this is spoilers. We're going to be talking about the movie as a whole and what we thought about it. But, general thoughts. Donut. What did you think of the movie as a whole? And then we'll start kind of diving deep down into sections of the movie that
As a whole, I really enjoyed it. And I really liked that once the action started, it was pretty much nonstop. Just a large portion of the movie was just action, which was really cool. I almost wish there was a little more of the not action part before the action started, so we could see them interacting with each other more. But I still really liked it, and it's beautifully animated. It did give enough that I wish there was more before the reveal, but it was still a cool reveal, and then nonstop awesome action the whole time. Can't wait to learn more about why everyone's after the Chainsaw Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've hinted that since pretty much season 1 with like, why are people going after Denji? Why is his heart so important to other people? And that is not something they have disclosed or talked about as much with the anime, of course. I can't speak. I don't want to. Again, this would be bridging on spoilers, huge spoilers, but don't want to talk about it. But
spoiling to an extent, not the entire series.
Yeah. Witchley, what did you think of, as a whole, of the movie?
It was beautiful and artistic, and oh man, what a pleasure to watch. There was so much going on, and you're like, holy shit, they animated this.
Yeah, Mappa I'm so glad Mappa came back to do this.
Yeah.
And they did switch directors from season 1 to this movie, and it kind of shows because you can kind of see it feels more vibrant. Yeah. This movie feels way more vibrant in animation.
More colorful. That's probably because of Denji being in love. Yeah,
that's a cool idea.
I think it works well for the movie.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about it?
Donut, I do agree that I wish there was more before all the action went off. But I do like all that we did get.
It felt like it went by so fast, even though it was about half the movie at that point, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like it was actually a decent stretch, but I was enjoying it so much I wish it went on longer.
They were just like these beautiful, like, musical interludes, like how they're...
Oh yeah, the music was fantastic in this movie. Yeah, especially they got I'm blanking on his name, but the original singer that did the intro to the first season of Chainsaw Man, and you can look it up while I vibe off that. And he went and did 2 more.
Kenshi
Yonezu, amazing work. He made Iris Out for the opening, and then I think Jane Doe for the ending, one with a collab song. So brilliant music. And so I'm glad, and also just the whole, just music as a whole, the whole soundtrack throughout the whole show. Like you said, there were so many beautiful orchestral moments, especially in the first half, because the first half was all kind of slice of life, with its, getting to know the characters.
You just see in their little relationship. And
then it just cranks up to 15. With the second half, with it all being, just all action, just all high octane action. So, but so my general thoughts, I will say I was a little worried because I've read everything, so I know up to this point, past this and everything. I was a little worried about this arc. I love this arc. This is one of my favorite arcs of the entirety of the series thus far. So I was a little worried when they said they were going to do a movie, because.
Did you think it needed more time?
I don't think they needed more time. I think they nailed it out the park. I think this movie was great. It was amazing.
Nailed it out of the park.
They
didn't hit it out of the park. They
nailed it out of the park.
They took it out of the park and nailed it outside of it.
No, I think they did a great job. I was worried because this is much more of a condensed arc. We have this over-looming arc with Chainsaw Man, with this gun devil. You know, this huge devil that everyone wants, like the whole devils, hunters want to go after. And so that's like the general, kind of big looming threat, but like this is like more condensed. It feels more condensed. With that still over looming arc, of course, as well on top of that. But I was worried just because I didn't think they would have enough time to say it all. But I think they did a great job with this first half, like I said, being this very slow. It feels slow, but I feel like the hardest part for me was the title is Reze. She is the most important character in this arc. I was worried they wouldn't have enough time for her at the beginning. But I think they did it so well because this is a character that they have to introduce. They have to show you who she is, what she's like, who she's like. I don't know. Bunch of those questions. And by the end, I generally, I don't know. I can't speak for you guys. You guys can chime in a minute, but I generally loved her and cared for, her by the end of this movie. And it's very tragic by the end. And we'll get to that, of course. But what did you guys think of Reze? That's a big one,
Yeah, I loved Reze.
Yes, me too. Yeah, everyone does fucked up shit in this show, so even though she killed so many innocent people, I still was like, oh, I wanted a happier ending for her.
Right?
We never get that. Not in Chainsaw Man.
Not in Chainsaw Man. I already know that. I know Chainsaw Man is not allowed to have long bits of happiness.
Indeed.
Or genuine happiness, for that matter.
Yeah.
So that's like the one thing I was worried about is her as a character in this movie. But they nailed it home. With the first half and the second half being you get to know her, you get to have her hang out with Denji, and then obviously the big reveal, which it's not really a big reveal
because of the trailer.
It's like the one thing, and the promo art,
the advertising for this movie it's not a surprise that she is the antagonist for the movie.
Yeah, that's the one thing I have a gripe with this movie is that I wish they kept that. But I don't know how else they could have promoted the show, the movie itself.
Well, they probably didn't know how else to promote it either.
Yeah. So I can't speak to how they could have done it better. Honestly, this might have been the best course is to reveal it in promo and trailers. But obviously, the big spoiler is Reze is the bomb devil. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the promos or any of the trailers, but. And I just think that's a shame because when I read it, I was like, "Oh God!" I
had no idea that was coming.
They do such a good job with she's very affectionate towards Denji, and Denji's having all these thoughts of like, "Oh, I really love Makima," and who doesn't really? And he's like, "My heart's set on Makima," but like he's getting all this affection towards somebody, and he's never had that, so he's obviously having mixed emotions and feelings and stuff. So obviously, you kind of act, it's like a little sus, with what she's doing, but also she's very attached to him. And it's revealing, in the manga that she's a killer. She's the bomb devil. It was such a great moment to see her just rip off the little pin on her neck and go boom. And I'm like, oh, it's so great. Or, the kiss. The kiss is the huge thing. Obviously, her biting his tongue off and slicing his arm off and his neck. That was a huge reveal too. So, it's a shame that they had to reveal it, but
it couldn't be a surprise for the moviegoers.
Yeah. So, shall we get into maybe the movie a bit and just talk about it? So, I'm gonna do it in two sections because I really like what you guys are talking about, like the slow pace at the beginning, and then obviously the action, which just doesn't let up at that point. So we can divide that. I think that's a good divide. So obviously the beginning just picks up right where we leave off with season 1, which I think is great. They don't need a recap. I don't think a newcomer of this show, of the series, can go into this movie and not understand what's going on still, but I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Like, do you think anyone could sit down that's blind with this movie?
I think I'd be wondering, why should I give fuck about these characters if I didn't watch the first season, honestly.
I do agree that I think you would, to enjoy it to the fullest extent, you would need to know what you're getting into, like, have watched the first season. But if you're just going for a good time and like wanting to go with someone who just wants to watch the movie and you just want to enjoy a fun time, there's enough there that it is a good self-contained story because it sets up the characters important for the movie in the beginning before it unleashes the action upon you.
Yeah, agreed. I still think you need to watch the first season. The first season's amazing. It has so much stake. It gives you the backstory on Denji. It gives you, all the characters that kind of bleed in over time in the show and their motives and what their goals are. Like Aki specifically is one of my favorite. Aki's a great character. He's a tragic character as well because he goes through so much shit in the first season alone.
If you're in Chainsaw Man, you're a tragic character.
Yeah. And there is moments with Aki in this movie I really love, but I think you need context for that. Because
I think that if you're going to watch this movie, you've probably already watched the first season.
I would hope so.
But if you're just wanting to watch a movie with a friend who is already interested in it and is going anyway, and thinking like, hey, you want to come watch the movie with us? There's enough for you to still have a good time. That's my opinion on it.
All right. Well, let's dive into Act 1. I guess I'm going to call them Act 1 and Act 2. Act 1 being this, slow pace. It starts us off right off the bat, at the end of season 1, and how he needs a new partner because Power had
too much blood.
Too much blood, so he has to swap out for Beam, who is one of my favorite characters. He's the Shark Fiend.
And he gives more questions for me as well, because he seems like he is a massive follower of the Chainsaw Devil.
Do you even hear what he calls him to?
Lord Chainsaw.
Yep, he calls him Lord Chainsaw.
That's something maybe he knew the previous iteration and was devout follower or something.
This is the one thing I really love. I love the world building of Chainsaw Man, and they talk about how these devils are basically manifestations of fear. The gun devil's the huge one. We are all afraid of guns, or at least to an extent, I would imagine. A lot of people are afraid of guns. So obviously that fear builds and makes that devil. Same thing with Chainsaw. I mean, there's little tiny devils that you've seen throughout the series as a whole. That's just oh, that's funny. Oh, I didn't think I'd be afraid of a carrot devil for some reason. But it's such a small, fear. And, you can kill these devils, but they're just going to come back.
They'll come back eventually.
It's kind of like reincarnation with some of these, and you just can't get rid of them. So there's just no way to get rid of a gun devil. I mean, how do you get rid of a gun devil?
Killing them takes a lot of power away from them and makes them not a problem for at least a while.
So I found that very interesting. Yeah. So, but yeah, we get introduced to Beam. Love him. He's so funny, and he's again, you said worships the Lord Chainsaw, and so that's his new partner. And you guys want to talk about the date with Makima?
The date with Makima.
That's the next thing that starts.
Movies
it was the worst date ever until the very last movie, where they're all just that movie sucked ass. On to the next one. Man, that movie was garbage. On to the next one.
Yeah, they do watch
that's. I feel like they watched 10 movies. Like she was saying, how she only likes 1 in 10 movies she watches.
I like seeing that, just their date. I really like seeing their date and seeing what she likes and what she's like. We don't get to see that often with her. She's just working all the time. So, and obviously Denji's excited. He gets to go on a date, and she's out of her, she's in her civilian clothes, and she looks cute, and he's like, oh, kawaii. So, and of course he had he wasn't having a lot of emotions with the movies too. He was relating to her, in
that way.
In that way. And until the last movie, of course, where they're just bawling their eyes out. And the most obscure movie.
Not quite bawling, but they did manage to make tears leave their eyes.
So it's nice to see that they have some emotion, you know? Like, and that's the huge thing that, like, Denji tackles with, and with the manga especially, is like, do I have a heart? Like, I don't feel for these people that died in my life. And you see other hunters in the first season that have just come and went because they just get killed off. And he didn't really have a lot of feelings for it, you know? And he's like, do I have a heart? No, that's like a huge question on his mind, you know? And then he asks Makima, do I have a heart? Because I don't feel like I'm human. So.
After all those people died in the first season, he was even thinking like, well, I wouldn't be sad if Power died. No, I wouldn't give a shit if Aki died. And he's like, I'd probably be sad for a couple days if Makima died, but think I'd get over it after a few days.
Yeah, he does say that. It's just like, am I a monster? You know, like I like that philosophical thing that Denji just kind of tackles.
Wondering how much of him is still human after fusing with Pochita.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that, Witchley?
What about the
whole thing as a whole, like him questioning his humanity.
I like that. I think that's a side of him being more human than devil, honestly.
Yeah, I like
asking those questions.
Perfect.
Makima sure knows how to play him like a fiddle.
Oh, she certainly does.
And then we get introduced right after the date. You know, it's raining. He's, you know, has to hide from the rain, and he meets Reze. Obviously, we've talked about Reze a little bit, but, you know, this is the first time we get to meet her, and then she offers...
Do you feel like he was about to drink, like, the backwash?
Yes. It has been stated and shown many times that he will consume anything that gives nutrients. Because that's been his upbringing, is scrounging for scraps. He doesn't waste anything that is useful as sustenance to him. Yes. So when he picked up that can and it's with all the cigarette butts sticking out of it and it sloshed a little bit, he was reaching to take those out and was about to drink it before she came in.
That would have been so disgusting.
You know, I know it's more disgusting. Him regurgitating a flower.
That was not as disgusting as the
I
idea
don't
of
think
him
that
drinking.
was as disgusting either.
So he regurgitates the flower and gives it to Reze, and then she's like, you know what? Come by my cafe and I'll get you. You know, I owe you one. And I love that he's already there, like immediately. He's like, "Hey, you owe me one. I'm here." You know, he does that exactly in the manga. It's great. I love that. It's just like she shows up to work and then he's already there. It's great. What'd you think of their interactions together? Like just Reze and obviously Denji together. You know, like because this is like the big part here where it's just kind of like a little bit of a montage, a little bit where they get to know each other at the cafe a bit. And
I thought they were very cute together.
I agree. I thought they were very cute together, but at the same time, because of knowing the promotional stuff going in, I knew from the start she was like manipulating him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just first meet too.
I was like,
it just feels like that.
I feel like she did sort of like him though.
I feel like that too by the end.
By the end.
It too.
Yeah, you see that by the end and we'll get to that, but yeah, you see by the end she did have feelings and wanted more with him.
She didn't realize it until after everything, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Well then, so they all get to hang out. We also get a little bit of Aki hanging out with his new partner, which is the Angel Devil. What did you guys think of that interaction together? It was like kind of butting heads. He doesn't really like the way Angel Devil works.
I think that's very typical for Aki in general.
Yeah.
He's just not a fan of devils and whatnot.
I don't blame him.
And...
He has a lot of issues with devils. I mean, as we stated prior in season 1, Aki hates devils.
You have this Angel Devil guy who wants to die and Aki who doesn't have much time left and he wants to live. That's very tragic.
Yeah. It is tragic.
So it's even harder to relate with that.
I feel like Aki's gonna go in like the next arc or two.
I wish I could tell you, but I can't. I mean,
at this rate, if we don't hear confirmation for season 2 or something soon, then I'm probably gonna start reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like their dynamic, but yeah, you can tell he doesn't. He's like, he's so honest. He's like, yeah, I'm never gonna get along with you. You know, like this is just not gonna work.
I don't see any way I could ever get along.
Even Makima telling him, like, you can just pretend, and he's like, no, can't do it. Sorry, not today. Can't do it. Well,
they do have like a very sweet moment, like where he saves the angel devil.
Oh yeah, that's in the later half. I can't wait to talk about that scene. That's so great. I love that.
I loved that so much.
Obviously, we go back to Reze and Denji, and she kind of digs more into him, and like you're 16 years old and you've never been to school. Why don't I take you to school? And
go sneak around at nighttime.
And this is the big like, ooh, like they skinny dipping
in the school pool.
And it comes equipped with his struggles of trying to stay faithful to Makima.
I love that scene where it's just like it's all in his head, and then it just pops out, and he's naked, like he's like already did it.
Yeah.
Like damn.
And then he just jumps in, and they have a great moment. I think I love the pool scene with them both.
Yeah.
And then we obviously also get introduced to some kind of serial killer before that. Forgot I'm skipping steps here.
He was being directed by the Typhoon Devil.
Mm-hmm. And so he goes to the school to basically go after Chainsaw Man, but like use Reze as like the poker chip
to get his bait.
Yeah, and doesn't go so well for him because Reze, spoiler alert, no, she is well equipped to handle a guy with a blade. Or a knife.
She just Black Widowed his ass.
Mm. I mean, what'd you guys? I mean, obviously you guys know at this point from the material, but what'd you guys think of that scene? Like finding out that she's evil. I know it's kind of hard to say. I know it's kind of hard to like. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Be surprised.
I know. It's just it just that's what I'm talking about. It just ruins it. I'm like, damn it,
I still thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was epic how she killed him.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's mine. Or he's mine. Denji's mine. No one else touches him. And Typhoon, get rid of the body. So, and now Typhoon's working with
Typhoon, like, oh shit.
And then
I'll help you out.
And so I guess we're wrapping up Act 1, where they go to a festival. Really quickly, they kind of go through a montage of them being at some fireworks.
Nice
and then they go to a secluded area where they can watch the fireworks, and she says, run away with me.
And he says no.
Yeah, well, he doesn't say no, but he's just so conflicted there, because he's like, I like you a lot, but I have a lot going here and a goal. And then it's when she says, oh, you like someone else. And then he doesn't answer that. She goes in for a kiss.
And then proceeds to bite off his tongue.
Yeah. That's the big one. She bites his tongue off, slices his neck, and chops his arm off, so he doesn't pull his string and go full Chainsaw Man on him. So.
Yeah, throughout that whole first half of the movie, I kept like whispering to Witchley, like, "Oh, he's so cooked. Like, it's over." I was like, right, if I was in a situation, it would be over for me too. She's too good at this.
What'd you think of that scene?
Oh, that was epic.
What, the bite tongue off,
yeah,
slice neck?
She spits his tongue out.
It was messed up, and I love that Beam flies in and saves him.
Yeah, because the whole time, and they've established it at the beginning, but Beam is following him the entire time.
Yeah,
and I love
hidden, swimming around under the ground. I love
seeing that as the animation. Like, as he's walking, you kind of just see the tail fin poking up. Like, I love during the rain scene, he's hiding with the cat, and the cat's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Batting at his fins.
So cool. I like that Beam kind of just swoops in and saves him, and brings him over to a headquarters with where Aki is, and this is where things just get cranked up. I mean, this is the hunt. This is like, she is going after Chainsaw Man. She is not stopping. She'll kill anyone in her wake.
Yeah,
or
one
in her
of my
path.
favorite parts is when she shows up and then Beam's on her like, that's her. That's the bomb devil. we gotta get out of here. Go, like, and then, all right, come on, guys, let's go kill her. And my favorite part is when she blows her own head off of her body, just picks it up, throws it in through the window, and her head says boom, blows up everyone inside. But the part I really liked was right after that, when she's in there already as in her devil form from blowing up, and then her headless body runs in and tackles people and explodes. That is so fucking neat. I like that.
That was awesome.
I like that a lot.
She's like essentially just Bakugo from My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
but
the version that's not afraid to be gory.
The Evil Dead version.
Yeah, the Evil Dead version of Bakugo is the perfect way to put it.
What do you guys think of her look? Because I really love like the bomb as the head. I love the apron dress.
She's got the flak jacket apron.
Yeah, fucking cool. Her arms are like all it looks like a sleeve gloves, all the way up to the elbows. Just
the
one
the thing I'm curious about is where did she get that pair of underwear?
That's something after she blew up, she was naked aside from her flak jacket.
You're right.
Apron.
I didn't think of that.
And then I was like, oh, she decided to put on some underwear before coming after them.
Where did she get them?
Because I was just I couldn't help but notice her bare tuchus until after she caught up with Denji and Aki again.
I was staring at it the whole time
Yeah.
too.
So you guys are ass people, huh? You're staring at asses?
Hey, I'm an everything.
But you are right, yeah. She puts on underwear, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. How the fuck is she wearing underwear?
She had the decency to put on some underwear before.
Same thing with Denji. He finds clothes, too, after he gets massacred, basically.
They just kind of hand him his same outfit after it had just been blown to shreds.
Or they found somebody else's clothes somewhere. I don't know, but
that's his iconic look. He's gotta have his suit pants and his.
Which we were all dressed in earlier today.
Oh yeah,
picture up.
That was fun.
I forgot to mention, we all dressed up as basically devil hunters.
Mm-hmm.
We were all kind of copying Denji, but his outfit's the same as any other devil hunters. Difference is he rolls up his sleeves,
which I think all three of us did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we look badass, especially Witchley.
Oh, thank
you. I think you pulled it off the best.
I think we all looked rather handsome.
I did have a Chainsaw plushie mask on that Witchley bought me for my birthday, so I wore that a couple times, but I couldn't stand to wear that all day.
Oh no,
it's warm. So, but you guys like the look? Anything else you want to say about her look? Because it's such a cool design. It's just so fucking cool.
I like how all the fiends have their the devil part incorporated into their heads.
Like Beam with his like.
That's the identifying feature of fiends. That is they told in the first season is that fiends are devils that have taken over a human body, and but they can't hide the features in the head. Yeah, I like that because like Beam has basically a shark head, and then Power is a good example. She has the horns, so it's. Like I said, it's hard to hide those things. So you can't tell Denji's a fiend until he pulls his ripcord in the.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's actually a devil, not a fiend.
Well, a fiend is a devil.
Oh, I thought they were like two different.
I thought they were two different things.
No, fiends are devils that have taken over a human body.
Okay, maybe I missed it. Okay, so they're all fiends. Okay, sorry, I got them mixed up. I thought fiends and devils were different. So
they still considered him a fiend for the first season, but he is a special thing that apparently isn't the first time it's happened, but it is a very rare unknown situation where he devil and a human merged mutually kind of deal. Like the devil wasn't intending to just take a host. Like the devil gave itself so that the human could live.
Alright, so then after her reveal and her form and her madness of just destroying everything, she's still fighting Denji. What you guys
explosive chase through the city was badass.
Yeah. What did you guys think of this? I mean, this is basically the rest of the movie.
It was a masterpiece.
It was a masterpiece. Well animated. My God, there were so many amazing moments. The
art style was slightly simplified from the first season, but but they kept the spirit of it with how fluidly and realistically everyone still moves, and I think it was perfect with the. It was a little more, like you guys said, vibrant.
Yeah.
Which really showed off in the fight scenes really well. I think it translated beautifully.
I think that's the best thing with this kind of a little bit of an art change, a little bit, is the fighting sequences were much better. Not that the first season didn't do that. I just think, I mean, obviously this is a movie.
This was the flashiest fight so far.
Yeah.
Because the other ones have been
indeed.
fairly grounded in comparison, because no one was as flashy as the Bomb Devil. It was a chainsaw devil versus a sword devil was the big fight at the end of season 1. So
yeah, it's kind of. I mean, this is like, how do you top this now? After this, how do you top this? It's been
slowly ramping up, and this was like a big spike.
Yeah, it was. I mean, this entire fight sequence is amazing. From him fighting her, right? Can we talk about him riding Beam?
I like that Beam can turn into a full-on shark with like almost spider-like legs.
It was so cool seeing Beam go full like shark mode. And
yes, I love that they were trying to tell him like, hey, you could like swing around like Spider-Man with your chainsaw blade.
He could.
That's what made the Chainsaw Devil so fast, is he can just fling out his chains and pull himself along with them endlessly. And he was like, oh, I get it. And then he just slings his chain around into his mouth and just like, you will be my horse.
You'll be my noble steed. And even like, Beam's like, wait, that's not what I meant. And then he just goes with it.
And the Angel Devil was like, no, I think he was saying you can send out your chains and swing with them. And he was like, what are you talking about? This is exactly what I'm supposed to do.
I love Denji so great, and just that whole sequence with him riding Beam. I really love how the Bomb Devil just does like the snap, but as like that's like her shooting stuff.
She shows very unique ways at how she can use her powers, which I hope will inspire Denji more in the future. We saw him use one resourceful thing at the end.
We'll get to that. I do love her dropping her apron down, like all of the bombs off of it. I was like, that's so fucking cool.
It was like a carpet bomb.
Yeah. And then what do you guys think of the Typhoon Devil fight? Like, obviously Typhoon kind of comes in here and helps Bomb Devil.
It was a really cool, really hectic fight. And that annoying intestine baby, I was very happy to see him get shredded up like he did.
I was as well.
I like the gore, and the gore is very neat to see. And
when he kills Typhoon Devil, the what essentially was that typhoon cloud just becomes blood, seeps down, and it's just an ocean of blood. And that's the moment when they're like riding in the blood water or whatever at this point, just blood.
My thoughts were like, oh, that could be really good for them because it's blood and they can like drink up in here.
Okay, true.
Thing is, he goes, does he need devil blood or he just needs human blood?
Remember in season 1 where
the Eternity
Devil? He killed the Eternity Devil by endlessly killing it and drinking its blood to heal the injuries.
That's true, yes.
Until it offered its heart for it to kill it because he couldn't take the pain anymore.
Like 5 days of suffering or something like that. It was like a whole week or something.
It wasn't 3 days.
That was like about a week.
I don't remember exactly how long it was, but
I think they were stuck in there for a week, but I think 3 days of that was like him going at it.
Yeah, maybe so. I just remember that it's devil blood tastes awful to devils, but it still heals them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was cool to see with like Bomb Devil too. Like she gets her leg cut off, and then Typhoon's like, "Here's some blood," and then like just coats her in blood,
splatters some blood away,
and then she just grows back. So like she's the same as Denji if she can keep the blood, pumping
I think
in.
that's pretty much true for any devil.
Yeah.
When they stated that she was one of the kids, like they were doing experiments on in the Soviet, warehouse, I feel like, maybe the Russians were making these kids fuse with devils as trying to make them weapons.
Definitely sounds like that, because this is later on at the end. How about we get to the final fight? Like they're at the pier. I mean, if we have any other highlights to say. Because there was a lot. I mean, obviously, Aki did great moves against her because he was trying to keep up. He's like, no failure, no failure, no. Like,
you could see a little, like, less a few seconds into the future.
He basically has the Sharingan without any of the magic bullshit aside from what it was the first time you see it in Naruto.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was cool to see Aki. I like that. I like seeing the rest of people fight, but then like kind of bouncing out like, retreat. like, oh, we can't handle this.
we saw the guy who looks like the Plague Doctor Devil or something.
He was fun.
Isn't he the Fiend Doctor or something? Or so the Fiend Devil or something?
He is a fiend because his head also has features, but he wears that mask to hide what he looks like.
No, I thought they put the mask on to suppress him.
Is that what it was?
I thought that was in season 1.
I know, member.
They specifically said they have the mask for him to suppress his power because I'm trying to remember what he is. Maybe future me will like correct us.
Is he like the Plague Devil or something? I don't know.
I would have thought.
You want to look it up real quick, but
what's his name again?
Just type in the Plague Mask Chainsaw Man guy, and you can kind of get an idea. But so if there's not any highlights, let's look.
He came in, did a big like hammer kick, overhead kick at it, and he's like, "Wow, I gave it all I got." Like, she's too strong for us. Let's get out of here.
And Kobeni he just outs Kobeni, being like, "Kobeni, I'm leaving. It's over.
Kobeni, let's get out of here."
And then she's like crying in the corner, like, "I'll quit my job. I'll quit. It's fine." All right, what's the devil?
He's the violence.
The violence.
Violence. And then I thought the mask was to keep him like at bay, like his violent
fiend.
I thought so. Maybe you can correct me in the Wikipedia. I don't know, but yeah, I love seeing Kobeni finally. I love Kobeni.
Covers his features.
Oh, it just covers his features. Okay, I thought specifically the hunters, the devil hunters.
When he doesn't have the mask on, he becomes taller, muscular, and has spiky black hair.
So it does suppress him to a degree.
That's
so
crazy.
Well, I mean, all of them have their transformations to extent the fiends. So I would expect him to be able to do something.
So, other than that, is there any other highlights, or shall we just get to the final showdown with Reze at the pier with Denji?
Why don't we get to the pier?
Okay. Well, so the pier fight, I mean, you mentioned it before, Donut, but like him kind of using the chains as kind of like whips at that point, like he uses the chain links as like just whips and gets her to stop her from doing her bombs. I just thought that was so cool to see, and him like grabbing her and then pulling her in and
ties her to himself, and then they pulls her into the ocean where they sink to the bottom and drown.
Yeah. But I think you're right. Beam does rescue them because Beam was nowhere near them during that fight.
I think it's pretty obvious.
There with them, so.
I think it's pretty obvious that he was the one that saved them when he was sitting there panting at the beach while the other two were waking up.
So so then after that fight, they wake up on the beach. At that point, it's when Reze is kind of like, "Okay, I'm out. I'm done. Bye."
She was like, "Why did you save me?" And
he's like, "I just
like your food."
And he was like, "Well, it was gonna just nag at me if I turned you in." It would
bother me forever if I just turned you in.
And then you can kind of see he sees like, I know you felt something between us. Like what was real to you? It was like maybe you teaching me to swim. That had to have been real because if you're faking it, it doesn't. I don't know. I call bullshit on that. And you can kind of see a little bit of, like resistance on her end. Where she's like, and then she like cracks his neck and just paralyzes him
for a kiss and breaks his neck and then runs off. Where he says that to meet him at the cafe.
Yeah. What did you guys think of that cafe scene? I mean, this is the ending scene, obviously, is that he's waiting for her to run away.
Yeah.
She was about to skip town, and then she doesn't get on the train and starts running to the cafe. And I was like, maybe there is a future for them. But I already knew, no, there's no future. This is Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
And before we get to like the big hallway scene or the alleyway scene, it's at this point where you kind of realize, though it's been hinted at the entire time, is that she's Russian. and that, or she's like a Russian operative or
She
something.
sang that song in Russian.
Yeah,
earlier.
I like that bit to show her that like, oh, she knows Russian. Why is that? That is interesting. And so it's at that point you kind of realize, oh, she was a Russian operative sent to kill or take the Chainsaw Man heart. Why does the Russians want Chainsaw Man's heart? That's a good question.
My best
the
guess
Russians.
is to make someone that they can control easier.
Right?
Well, they can control the bomb devil just fine. It seems
Well,
like.
yeah, but they raised her to be a weapon for them.
True.
They could do the same thing if they have a Chainsaw Man's heart.
That's what I was thinking. Is they're going to this guy's already under other people's thumbs. It'll be easier to kill him and start from scratch.
Yeah.
That's a good theory. So now on to the alleyway scene, the big scene. She decides to not go and leave. She goes to Denji.
She starts heading to the cafe to meet him, see if he's there, and
A bunch of rats show up, and who is in with the rats is
Maki Mama.
Yeah. You were like, I saw your face, Witchley, in the theater. You're like, oh my god, like Makima showing up to talk to Reze.
I was sitting there the whole time like, this isn't gonna work. Someone's gonna cut her off. She's not gonna get there.
Right? Yeah.
Did you think it was going to be Makima, or did you think it was going to be?
I thought it was gonna be people sent by Makima, but she went there herself.
Personally. Like you're trying to take my
You're
dog.
trying to take my special little boy, my newest toy.
Yep. Oh, that was brutal. Oh, I was sad for Reze.
I know, it's that point
I was
where
sad for Denji too.
Yeah. Sitting there with flowers.
She's like literally 5 feet from him at that alleyway.
That was like 30.
That was.
Still, nonetheless, pretty close to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like across the street.
If he would have turned around and looked out the window, he probably would have saw them.
Probably.
And then what'd you guys think of Angel coming in to help fight?
I was like, oh, so that's what he can do.
Angel, like she even says, the Angel is the strongest, second strongest in the division.
Yeah.
So I was like,
threw spears through and prevented her from activating her powers, blowing up, and effectively prevented her from defending herself.
Yeah.
And then, man, like her last words were Denji.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like thinking about Denji, and like she's even looking at Denji through the window as she's bleeding out.
The sad thing is, because she's like Denji, she could be revived, but she is more than likely going to be taken away and dismembered and disposed of. So there's no coming back for her.
So that's the end of the movie. So you're thinking she won't come back?
I don't think we're going to see her again.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, this was it.
Makima is too efficient. She will probably do the same thing. If she will, at the most that we would see done with that is the heart being removed and being put in someone else at this point, where she would probably do the same thing the Russians were trying to do.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
And then there is a post-credit scene at the end with Denji still waiting.
He's still sitting there.
He's sitting there. Had a bouquet of flowers waiting for her. And he had his backpack full of stuff he needed so they could run away and live together.
And what did you guys... Who walks in?
Power.
All drained of blood and back to normal.
Yes.
And then she demands the bouquet as a perfect offering for her
return.
Yes.
And then he starts eating
the flowers like he ate that flower at the beginning.
Yeah, it's mostly just like a gag post-credit scene, but I love it. It's great.
I loved it.
It's in the manga as well, so it's not like it's...
Yeah, instead of ending off on that scene with like Reze dying and Denji like being alone, Power comes in as the comedic relief, and I like that. Plus, I love Power. Wanted a little more power.
I know. Yeah, this was the one that I was like, I knew we weren't going to get as much power because I know the manga, and so she's kind of put it onto the wayside for this entire arc. It was nice seeing her at the end. Just kind of get like, hey, you missed her.
Power.
There she is. And she's not going anywhere anytime soon. So
I wonder how much longer we'll get to enjoy Power.
Right.
This is Chainsaw Man, and people are going to continually die throughout the series.
I do want to ask, before we get into like who's our favorite simp at the end now, what do you guys think is going to happen next? Just you kind of know some stuff, so you can kind of be as vague as you want. Because I've told you things.
Indeed,
You know things. You know
certain
of
people
things.
are gonna die and things are gonna change.
So how about let's just leave it to Donut then. Donut, what do you, because you're blind, you only know the anime. What do you think is going to happen next? Just out of curiosity.
I feel like things will probably go fairly similar until, like, I think he probably has some seeds of doubt planted in him now, where he might be shaken and he might end up like leaning towards not wanting to be in the public safety division anymore. Plus, I feel like he might even want to go to school. That was something they were talking about through the movie.
I know, that's like, she mentions it quite a bit, and then like even at the end, she's like, Denji, I never went to school either. Like I thought that was very tragic. She's like, I'm just like you. I've been used. I was being used this entire time. I just thought that was great to see as a wrap up on this character that we'll possibly may not see ever again from.
It would be too nice of a thing for them to let her come back later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would agree. I can't confirm or deny.
Man isn't gonna pull punches, I don't think.
No, we're just getting started because there is plenty. I
think things will be shaken up. I think as more and more people die, he might even be like on the hunt from the rest of the public safety division or something. And
I like that.
I don't think he's going to be seen as an asset when all of these people that have been wrangling him are dead.
Interesting theories. I love it. So, just as a whole, you guys just enjoyed the movie though?
I would put it up there with the Infinity Castle movie.
I was gonna say this has been a great year for 2D animation.
These ones were like back to back.
I know, we got this last month. We got Demon Slayer last month, and we got this, and it's just
I feel like this was equally beautiful in just a different art style.
Mm-hmm. I think Mappa did a great job.
Just as visually appealing and striking at times, and I do like Demon Slayer felt like almost like 3 separate, like, extra long specials kind of deal.
I can kind of see what you're talking about, okay.
And then this one, it was like just one of those, but the extra long version. Like,
again, I really like what they're doing, like, just anime in general doing these condensed arcs as a movie now. Like, I feel like I think Demon Slayer is a good example. They've proven that with Mugen Train. You could do that.
They're doing this with Infinity. Pulling it off really well.
So I was a little worried for the Reze arc, but I think Mappa did an amazing job. Fantastic. All throughout the whole movie. So I think it was great. It's proven me wrong more that we don't need to do 12 episodes for this now. We could do movies if it feels right, of course. Like, it doesn't I don't think this should be like the norm, but it's nice that we get this.
I do like that they can focus on just one big spectacle for certain arcs. Like, have the meat and potatoes in a series, and then for the special arcs they can do big bombastic movies where they can really pour the budget into just focusing on it rather than trying to spread it out if it doesn't need to be.
But I'm glad we love the movie. The movie is excellent. I'm hoping some point we get season 2 or 3 or whatever you want to call it at this point. So
it would be a season 2 unless they split this into several episodes and call it season 2. I
hope not. I really like this.
Do the Mugen Train.
The Mugen Train. I liked what they did with this. I don't know how you would condense it down to. Well, I mean, they do have the intro and outro songs, so maybe they could. I don't know. I don't think I've never seen Mappa do that. So
they did it to Mugen Train.
Well, I'm talking about Mappa as like in general.
Oh,
because Mappa was, they did not do Demon Slayer. I'm just saying in general, like
I was saying it's been done before.
They could do it. Yeah, you're totally right. I just don't know how. How would you even divide that up? I don't know. It just feels so fluid, even because you got the slow pace at the beginning, and then you have the high. Why stop the high octane fight?
Shows are no strangers to leaving you on a cliffhanger.
True. Is that it? Are we all good tonight?
When does this come out of theaters so I can watch it on Crunchyroll?
I have no idea. Probably next year, I would imagine, because I know with Demon Slayer, we're not going to get Infinity Train, or sorry, Infinity
Train.
Infinity
Mugen Train Supreme Extra.
Infinity Castle, they said, I remember specifically Crunchyroll saying, like, oh, don't expect Demon Slayer until 2026 on our streaming platform.
Don't even think about watching the movie again until 2037.
I think they want... that would be upsetting. I think they're just trying to ride the high with the box office right now. So I would imagine...
It's obviously not going to stop till they stop showing it in theaters. So it's probably be a month or two after they pull it out of theaters, I would assume.
I definitely don't think Chainsaw Man is as popular as Demon Slayer is.
No, there's a reason Demon Slayer is so big. Chainsaw Man is still, it's a very hyped and beloved thing, but it is still far more niche and less mainstream by far. Not to mention, Demon Slayer is gory, but this one's far more vulgar than Demon Slayer, so that limits the audience more too.
Plus, our theater was not as packed as I thought it was going to be.
It
got full. It got pretty packed, but not
really.
I mean, with the Demon Slayer, I feel like every seat was taken.
Demon Slayer, there were a lot more people than I expected.
It's because children love Demon Slayer as well. And if you can market your stuff to children, you're guaranteed to do well.
Meanwhile, this one, I would be like, I really hope there's no kids in here during that pool scene.
Or the fantasy style.
There were only like 3 or 4 people on the same row as us, like further down, and then there was just a couple groups like smattered in the middle.
I'll say
there
wasn't
nice. A lot of people in there, and it was nice.
It was nice seeing people all dressed up too.
Yeah,
like
we saw a bunch of people. It almost looked like a gathering of Mormons in there. Everyone was dressed up for Chainsaw Man.
They knew the assignment.
They did.
They knew what they were doing. I'm hoping we get more though. More Chainsaw Man, because
I really hope so.
This entire like, at least where I'm at in the manga, they could do this section. I would say this huge all arc. Let's just say the Gun Devil arc is all Act 1.
Oh, so
Act
after
1.
they're done with the Gun Devil, it keeps going. I thought the Gun Devil was going to be the end goal.
Nope. There is way more shit past the Gun Devil.
That's crazy.
That I am past, which I cannot speak of at this time. But there's a whole Act 2 right now that they are currently at, and it's way more crazier than what we have already experienced. So they have plenty of material. Like I think Mappa just takes their time, and please do.
They probably have several other things they got to work on and get out.
Yeah, because right after this, they're doing Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3. And they're also doing Hell's Paradise Season 2. So and then they're working on Ranma 1.5 Season 2. So they're busy. This was just a team that was working on it in Mappa, and so they're busy. So I don't know how they're gonna have time to do more.
They're overworked already.
Indeed.
But take their time.
Yes.
I would love more, but I don't want them to.
I'll be patient as long as they keep up the consistent quality.
And this was a high bar now. Like, I don't know, like...
This is polar opposite to One Punch Man.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that.
One Punch Man Season 1 was so good, and it's been a downward trend ever since.
I don't want to talk about One Punch Man.
It makes me sad.
Anyway, talking about a sad note at the end of this.
Goto sliding down the...
Well, that was Chainsaw Man, the movie, Reze arc. Obviously, all 3 of us loved it. Let us know down below what you guys thought of the Chainsaw Man movie, if you've seen it yet, and what do you guys think about it? Or what's your favorite simp?
Lots of comments with your simps.
Do it.
Everyone just lists every character.
Yeah.
And then check us out over on Spotify. We're over there, full videos from YouTube and Spotify, so you can check us out over there. As well as our Redbubble. We have a whole merch store now.
Yes.
With some great stuff of me, Crazed, Witchley, and Miggy. Maybe eventually we'll get Donut on board.
He's there twice.
I'm so good. I have 2 sections of merch.
Him and Crazed are 2 different entities. I'm missing the lore.
This is something that's being birthed at this moment.
Also, like and subscribe. And I guess that's a podcast.
As we always say, ja, mate.
Ja, mata.